everybody, welcome to this week's Prophetic Trumpet. We are in the 23rd week of the ongoing series, The Prophetic Unveiling. And wow, have we touched a lot of things. But today, we're going to move to the underground. You see, there's been a lot of information that has been coming out of late within the last year of activities that just aren't on the level. And I mean that with a pun. We're going to start with the look from a website called LA Mag, actually. LA Mag. That would be Los Angeles Magazine. This is an article that goes back to 2015 by Nathan Masters. And Nathan Masters reports in this edition of the Los Angeles Mag that he documented underground tunnels that were created in the 1920s. Eventually, from that, an underground railway was created, and it ceased to be in operation in 1955. Now, we've got the link for that, for any of you that want to see it. And the underground is not used exclusively for underground railways. You see, CNN reporter Elizabeth Stamp in 2019, that would be actually August 7th of 2019, which we have a link for that as well. The Doomsday Luxury Bunkers Index is what the name of the article pertained to. Now, it says that 1%, the 1%, as in the upper 1%, are preparing for a doomsday scenario by building luxurious underground bunkers, some of which used a Texas-based company to build. This includes key government employees around the world that have somehow included themselves in the upper 1%, because, you know, they're public servants. They're not supposed to be taking that kind of money, right? Well, somehow they're in the upper 1% of the world. And the location, there's a location in Black Hills, South Dakota, that consists of 575 military bunkers that will accommodate 5,000 people comfortably at the price of $25,000 to $200,000 each. Now, Structures in Germany offers 34 residents as well, with 2,500 to 5,000 square feet per unit. And this is all carved out of bedrock. So when we want to talk high-end, I mean, really, who thinks about creating a bunker out of bedrock? Well, obviously the upper 1% do for some reason, and kind of strange, they have access to information that the most of us don't readily have as soon as it's available. Now, you may ask, who are these people? Well, when we go to GameDevolution.com, there is an article there that includes the names Mark Zuckerberg, Tom Cruise, Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian, you know, because she's always in the news. She's famous for being famous. Tyler Perry's included in this, as well as Post Malone. Oh, and everybody's favorite physician, Bill Gates. Oh, wait a minute, he doesn't have a physician's education, huh? Oprah Winfrey is in this group. Larry Ellison and Leonardo DiCaprio are involved in this group. And you may think, where are we going with this, preacher? Well, hang tight. Now, on 5/5 of this year, that would be May 5th of the 25th year of this century, the New York Post, Alexander Oliveira, reports that it's gone into self-preservation. In an interview with Tucker Carlson, former Bush White House official Catherine Austin Fitts, that's with two T's, states that the federal government has secretly spent trillions, with a T, trillions, building up an elaborate network of subterranean cities where the rich and the powerful can gather and shelter in a near extinction event. So that definitely gives credence to the article 10 years previous by Nathan Masters in LA Mag. And further, the CNN article from 2019 that we referenced. So this is where the rich and the shameless will shelter during a near extinction event. Now, let's go a little bit deeper, because Fitz, who served as Assistant Secretary of the Housing and Urban Development under President George H.W. Bush from 1989 to 1990, claimed that $21 trillion in taxpayer dollars were funneled into the project between 1998 and 2015. That's a 18-year span. Claiming that the 170 only applied bases, that means there's 170 locations, only applied to bases on United States soil, specifically around the coastline, alleging that more exists around the world, and that bases are interconnected with elaborate transportation systems, she claimed, while claiming that they are powered by a secret energy system known only to the military. Because, yeah, why not? Makes you wonder what, since we now have further proof that the government is involved in this and the military is involved in this, and yet somehow the upper 1% of Hollywood and politicians are looking to take cover. Well, that's crazy. What could, isn't their job to serve and protect the public and serve in the public good? Well, let's dig around into it a little bit deeper. The PatriotBeacon.com has a list of the underground military bases by state. There's a complete list. We have a link for that also, and it claims 120 bases, which is interesting since Catherine Fitz claimed 170, opposed to one another. The website lists 30 states with locations plus their history. So check out that link. Both claim of an extensive background transportation system, underground transportation system, connecting them to one another, that being interconnected, and other locations globally all around the underground, including the ocean. So we have credence with what Catherine Fitz claims in the May 5th article of this year. Now, while much of this may sound like a bunch of conspiracy theory, and you may think it has absolutely, totally nothing to do with the Bible or prophecy, au contraire, mon frere. You see, that's why you join in, because we're the Prophetic Trumpet here at Fearless Ministries, and we're here to tie the loose ends together. We don't make them tie together, they do it on their own. How do we know this? Well, you may dismiss this as mere conspiracy theory and has absolutely nothing to do with your walk as a Christian, and there's nothing biblical about it. But let's ask the question to the Bible. Well, it just happens to be that in Revelation chapter 6, verses 15 and 16, and I quote, "Then the kings of the earth, the princes, the generals, the rich," that would be your 1%, by the way, "the mighty," the politicians, "and everyone else, both slave and free, hid in caves and among the rocks and in the mountains. They called to the mountains and the rocks, 'Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.'" That is the wrath of Jesus Christ, by the way. And by the way, if you're in a cave, you're underground. Bunkers. Underground. Top 1% of the world know about it. The military knows about it. Government officials know about it. Now, guess what? You know about it. Now, in Revelation chapter 6, this is post-rapture, by the way, so we're looking at the sixth seal here. That's what we're looking at in Revelation chapter 6 and verses 15 and 16. The sun turns to black, there's a violent earthquake, the moon turns to red, which just may be a blood moon, maybe a hunter's moon. It gives you an idea as to what time of year it's going to happen. The stars of heaven fall, the sky splits apart, every mountain and island are moved from the earthquake. Yeah, I would imagine there's going to be tsunamis as well, because that's what happens when there's massive earthquakes. Guess what? The underground is real. And the 1% are prepared to live in luxury. Notice it says the kings of the earth. Notice it says the princes, the military, the rich, the mighty, the slave, and the free. They're all going to want to dive underground because they know what's coming. A catastrophic event is coming, and they're going to want to rush underground to protect themselves and to live in luxury. But guess what? Jesus knows where they are, just like he knows where you are. It's time for you to turn your heart to him, trust in him, walk in his ways, seek his path. Read the manual that is a covenant explanation of your benefits as a child of God. It's called the Bible. And guess what? You can have what it says you can have. You can do what it says you can do. And you can be a co-heir with Christ and skip all of this and not have to worry about the wrath of the Lamb. We want to thank you for joining us for this week's Prophetic Trumpet. We hope that you like and share the message. Hey, text this thing out to people, hyperlink it, get it out there, share it with everybody so that their eyes can be opened as to what's happening in the underground. We'll see you next week.